Greetings and welcome to Planet Vrilock. I'm going to tell you about fantastic facilitators, awesome amplifiers, psionic robots, and the Channel Mixer RBX documentation. So without further ado, let us begin. For those of you whom have had the marvelous good fortune of listening to my audiobooks, Fantastic Facilitators, Powerful Defenders, and Magical Messengers, you know that to simply create a fantastic facilitator, one only needs a pair of earphones, the audiobook, and a flashlight wand. And we will point the wand at our portrait or caricature and send our will to the servitor as such. And our energy and thoughts are passed from the beam into the servitor. But there's more. While we can create fantastic facilitators, dynamic defenders and powerful protectors, and magical messengers, some students have asked me about subconscious servitors, and there is no better subconscious servitor than a mentor. So today, while I am going to speak about a variety of my products, firstly and foremost, we will focus on the mentor servitor. And so I may introduce you to Dr. Mark C. DuQuesne. Now, the father of all space opera was one known as Edward Smith, or you may know him better as the late E. Doc Smith, and he wrote brilliant sci-fi and space operas. One of his particular series, a trilogy in fact, was the Skylark of Space, and his fictitious villain, Dr. Mark C. DuQuesne. DuQuesne was a chemist, an assassin, and as the trilogy rolls out over 3 decades of writing these books, Dr. DuQuesne becomes a master of psionics, and for a short time he is master of Earth. So I wanted to create a mentor of sorts and borrow some of that imagination from the late author E. Doc Smith. So we have to have imagination, we have to have a focus point, a threshold if you will, which is this character here. This is the threshold, the meeting point in other words, where that character, whom still lives on as a series of thought forms and thought clusters, can be carried over to this character, and then further infused by meditation and psionics. Now, I may begin with imagination, and then move on to the next step, which is programming. You are Dr. DuQuesne. I give you life. You exist to mentor me in psionic power. it is done. And that is how we will begin. Next, I want to give him a lot more energy. So I'm going to work with amplifying patterns. So my thoughts will amplify to this character. And see, I've written his name somewhere on the bottom of the feet here, as you can see, DuQuesne. And no, he is not sitting on a toilet, but if he were, then the good doctor does it with style. Oh, there you go. I've boggled it up now. Now I've got a sideband thought that's going to make me think about the toilet. But therein lies a stimulus. What is this stimulus? Well, it just so happens to be that there is a fact that I know which is true, and that is, some of my finest ideas do come to me when I'm seated on the porcelain throne. So maybe answers to my questions will come from Dr. DuQuesne to me when I'm seated upon the throne. Or I may just have to upgrade his chair so it doesn't look like he's seated at the throne. So I wanted to give him a really wonderful sci-fi aspect. As you can see, I don't think it needs too much explanation, but he's got his mind connected to this psionic chair with these antennas and controllers. And these servitors do work. They work because they're created in layers and layers of imagination and subconscious power, and then focused concentration. So to make him fine-tuned, I will connect the awesome amplifier to my psychotronics unit, and this is a channel mixer box. Let me explain to you why I have a preference to work with the channel mixer box. As I said, I'm going to speak about a number of my products. I've mentioned the audio books. We have 3 of them for facilitators, messengers, and defenders. We also have a romance audio for prayer boards. And while these are good, we need to take things a step up. So we use awesome amplifiers to boost the energy so that I don't have to send a lot of my energy to the servitor. It's already being charged right now. Yes, you are, Dr. DuQuesne. Thank you. We are honored by your presence. But what if I have a series of tasks to do? And I'm a busy man. Yes, busy wizards need to have tools. So we have sonic robots, as you can see here, and servitors, and awesome amplifiers. And each one has its own means of being connected to various peripherals and machines, as you can see. Some of them have their own witness tray, as you can see, and a crystal antenna. It is also tunable, as I've created it to be so, and boasting my beautiful, glorious logo. You can see he has some battle scars there, and an output, or input. Actually, he has 2 kinds of hookups right there. And the same goes for this one. Tunables, glyphs, and hookups. And lots of character, of course. That's very important to me. Now, here's the deal. The channel mixer box is used for multitasking. As you can see, all 3 of these servitors and psionic robots are channeled into these ports here and here. And these balancing dials can be used to multitask. Power on through the 2 ports, and then the outputs here can be controlled like such. And then these are, of course, your master balance here for all of these balance dials here, and again your amplifications here. So tune these amplifications. If you want to change the balance, you do it here, and outputs here. And there's some buttons to turn these off and on. This is important if you're multitasking, so that you don't have to do this, where you have to go to various instruments here and keep changing and tuning them, which can be a lot of work. So we want to work with something that can multitask. So if you are so inclined, I suggest that you buy my channel mixer RBX document, vrilock.com/shop. Take the Awesome Amplifiers video course, read the ebook Psionic Robot, and then listen to the audiobooks, which would be Fantastic Facilitators, Dynamic Defenders, and Magical Messengers. Get my book Psionic Necromancer from Amazon and pair the knowledge together. Now, if you need an overview of psionics, we have Keep The Magick High, short ebook, and then we have, of course, the full academy, the Psionics Academy, that teaches you everything about how to take rates, how to use focused concentration, and bypass all the haggling and difficulty of working with psionics so that you can get up to date and up to speed now and begin working on this stuff and really enjoying the benefits that come from being a psionics power master like Dr. Mark C. DuQuesne. And with this, I leave you to your work. This is your doctor reminding you to keep the magic high. Vrilock, signing out.